All right, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the Willibald Farm Brewery, and they are out of Ayr, Ontario, Canada, and this is their Brick Tour. So they are calling this one a stout with toasted coconut. I'd imagine it's an American Stout. Comes in at 4.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 7 weeks old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out to a good friend of mine, Sean, for hooking me up with this one. Sean and I met up and exchanged some beers a couple weeks ago, and he hooked me up with this one. And apparently, Willibald is a brand new brewery, or relatively brand new. And Sean really liked this one. I mean, you don't see too many sub 5% adjunct stouts, and that's what this is. The toasted coconut, they have a wood fire oven that they toast the coconut in. And yeah, 4.5% stout, a session stout, so to speak. Yeah, let's see how this one is. He said it was pretty tasty. It's been kept cold the entire time, so I'm hoping it's quite tasty as well. Let's give it a pour here into the Bellwoods glass. Wow, that's looking a lot darker than I anticipate for something 4.5%. You know, we're going to pour it all in. I rarely do, but this is a huge glass, and this is a 12 ounce can, 355 milliliters. All right. So yeah, that pours out beautifully. I mean, that looks like a stout. It's pitch black on camera, I know, in person. Black, but with some dark brown tinges here at the bottom. Had about a finger of a straight up brown colored, creamy colored head. Looks nice. Let's get a nose. Oh, so there's a little bit of coconut, very subtle. Big roasty character, this one, though. A roasted malts, a little bit of darker chocolate, like I would say like 40, 50, 60% cacao bar, maybe like baker's chocolate. Something that isn't super sweet, but definitely like more approaching cocoa nibs. Touch of coffee in here as well. Maybe a little bit of vanilla, caramel. What is that? Slight touch of molasses. Yeah, molasses. 4.5%. This is very complex for something that's sub 5%. Yeah, this smells pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Sean. It's a nice beer for 4.5%. Like, you have to keep in mind, this is 4.5%. Because I'd imagine there'd be a lot of people that pick this up and be like, oh man, you know, stout with toasted coconut. Oh man, it's going to be, you know, like a pastry stout. It's going to be adjunct. It's going to be, you know, sweet and big and viscous and thick and blah, blah, blah. It's 4.5%. You got to keep that in mind. I'm keeping it in mind anyway. Body on this one's like higher side of light body, approaching low medium body. So appropriate probably for the ABV. The mouthfeel, I was hoping for a little bit more of like a soft, smooth creaminess, but this definitely has carbonation. It's slightly effervescent. It's not as soft and smooth as I would like, but it's fine. Body and mouthfeel are fine. The taste, though, touch of toasted coconut, like very subtle, and that's like an omnipresent kind of note on the palate, but it's underlying under like 5 or 6 different characters. So, first thing I say about this one is the roasted character of this one from the malt is carrying over. So roasted malt. Chocolate, more of like a dark, semi-sweet chocolate, and coffee. So the first 3 notes that kind of hit my palate, pass through the palate, touch of that molasses, like a sweeter kind of tinge, maybe a little bit of accentuations of vanilla, but for the most part, it's those 3 characters, and then the toasted coconut kind of hits mid-palate, a little bit more intensity to it, mid-palate. Like I said, it's omnipresent, but like mid-palate, a little bit more intensity. Then it carries on, and it finishes semi-dry, very slight residual sweetness, and a very light bitterness. But for the most part, this has a semi-dry to full-on dry finish. This is a very crushable, easygoing, like sessionable stout, because you could drink a ton of these. For 4.5%, this is a really nice beer. If you were to hand this one to me and be like, oh, what do you think? I would be like, that's a solid, good beer. I would say it's a bit thin as just a beer goes. And maybe it doesn't have a totally bombastic flavor. Shout out to Paul over at Brews. But what's here is really nice. It's a solid beer. I'm enjoying it. You guys know, if you follow the channel, and if you don't now, you'll know that I'm a coconut fiend. But I wasn't expecting the coconut to be huge in this one. I figured it would be subtle and nuanced, and it is. But at the end of the day, this is a really good sessionable stout with very subtle, like I said, nuanced hints of coconut, but I think it works in something like this. I don't think I'd want a huge toasted coconut presence in this one because it's supposed to be more drinkable, so you're looking for lighter flavors. You're looking for something you can session. So, you know, Yeah, it's a damn good beer for what it is. So I'm going to give Willibald's a Brick Tour. I'm going to give it a high 3.75 out of 5 and go 3.85 out of 5. To get to the 4 level, I think I want a little bit better mouthfeel personally. I think I would want a little bit less carbonation, a little bit more creaminess, like a touch more creamy kind of sensation on the palate, and this would get to a 4. As is though, 3.85 out of 5 is a pretty good score. This is a beer that I would love to have in the fridge, like a 4-pack of it, and just be like, today I want to drink a stout, but I don't want to drink one that's 8 to 10%. I know Paul, the aforementioned Paul, will be like, what do you mean? All stouts, no matter the ABV, are sessionable. Touche. But no, seriously, I would like this as I want something that I want maybe a can or two, and I don't want to get wrecked, but I want flavors of a stout. I want something that has an adjunct in it. This would be perfect for that. So yeah, 3.85 out of 5 for this beer. Price and availability. Price point, I saw on their website, $13 a 4-pack. Now that's Canadian. You translate that and convert it to American dollars, it's just under $10 a 4-pack American. That's good price, I think, for a 4-pack. $10 for something with toasted coconut and well-made beer like this. Yeah, I'd pay $10 American for this. $13 4-pack if you're in Canada. Might be a little bit too rich for some, but I still think it's a pretty decent value. You're talking, $3.25 a can. Like I said, if you're in a mood for something that is sessionable with an adjunct in it, I don't think that's a bad price. Availability, I'm pretty sure this is brewery only. I think they've only been open a few months, and yeah, they've started to package some of their beers in cans, and this is the first one I've ever had from them, and good first impression from Willibald. So yeah, if you've had anything from these guys before, let me know what you think about it. If you've had this beer specifically, definitely chime in the comments section. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. 4.5%, whatever. There's no discernible kind of alcohol stringency, whether it's on the palate, in the chest, whatever. There's no warming. It's a 4.5% beer. I don't anticipate when I drink a 4.5% beer to taste the alcohol, so it's 4.5%. But yeah, like I said, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Thanks again to Sean for hooking me up with this one, and until the next review, cheers.